Emotions. What are they, and how do they play a role in each and every one of our lives? So, thanks for watching Vlogs About Nothing. Obviously, we're talking about emotions. And so, more than just a phase in your life, if you're over the age of 30 and happen to be watching this, which is a shout out to one of my favorite comments on any YouTube ever. And under, I think, a Taking Back Sunday video, there's a person who left a comment that said it wasn't just a phase, Mom. And I can really relate to that, because emo wasn't just a phase, and I still listen to it. I guess it'd be like oldie kind of music now, because some of the emo is pretty old. And so yeah, there it is. We're talking about emotions. And so, and again, how they impact our lives every day. Emotions are technically and scientifically defined as electrochemical signals that flow through us in an unending cycle. They are sent into our brain in response to our perception of the world. And link in the description below. I believe I quoted that verbatim, but you can check for yourself. That's what emotions are in a scientific perspective. We know that there are 8 different basic human emotions, all of which have different variations and different ways of showing the different emotional states of people. But there's a great reference in the links below again, and it sends you to a page on this emotion wheel, which is pretty cool. It breaks it all down, and this doctor's pretty widely accepted in the psychology community for its use in modern day and things like that. And so it's been fact-checked in that regard. But yeah, and we also know that emotions are contagious. We can catch both positive and negative emotions, and even though sometimes they're not quite accurate, and we'll get to that, it does in fact happen, which is why people my age will often hear saying things like, I'm catching a bad vibe, or, the vibe in here is way suspect, or something, I'm not sure, something about like that, how it would be said, but yeah, that's how it is. And so that's also, again, true in that we can, again, catch different kinds of emotions around us, and we do so all the time. And it's important to note, however, that emotions are different from feelings and or moods. They are interconnected, and again, I encourage you to check in the links in the description below to do some of the research yourself and check it out in greater detail and or depth. But let's now distinguish quickly the difference between emotions and facts. So emotions are often they're often a response to a specific event, and facts are objective information. We also know that emotions are often accompanied with facial expressions, while we know that, factually speaking, there is no empirical evidence that can specifically lead any other human being to, with 100% accuracy, guess what that other human being is trying to communicate and or convey based on facial expressions and body language alone. Now, I know body expert language people might tell you different and stuff, but if you really do the research, there is no conclusive evidence as to a person's body language and its significance to truthful statements being said by that person. And so we now established what emotions and what facts are. And so they impact our everyday life, because I'd say that all of us experience many different emotions throughout every single day. And while I'm not a psychologist, I would say that that's perfectly normal, and in fact very healthy, to actually explore and or be able to feel different emotions. Now, I think it becomes a problem, obviously, when you're feeling too many different kinds of emotions all at once. I think it's very easy to become overwhelmed in our own emotional capacity. But again, it's important to recognize that we all experience emotions. We all go through the same kinds of things that happen to us when we go through emotional times, and or we're going through something during that day that elicits an emotional response. And so my advice, definitely check the emotional response, but also understand that it's completely and 100% normal.